Welcome back to Boxes of Trauma. More stuff I snagged out of my grandmother's house before it got demolished. And I just want to, if you follow me, you know that my channel is about going through stuff that my hoarder mother left behind. And mostly it's her condo and storage unit. However, just a side note, my grandmother passed away when I was 11. So that was like 1993. She had a whole house, right? A whole life in West Virginia. And nothing ever happened with it. We never went down and cleaned it out. My parents never took anything out of there, and there it sat for a million years until we got notices from the city, blah, 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 and we had to actually eventually demolish it because she couldn't let it go. She couldn't, she was going to do something, right? She was going to clean it out, but she couldn't bring herself to emotionally or whatever. She was going to rent it, and that, of course, that never came to fruition. This is like the extent of what some hoarders can leave for their family, basically. We finally had the house demolished. And now Beth and I still have this property that we have to deal with. And it would have been great if she could have dealt with that while she was alive. Or if my dad could have helped deal with that while he was alive. But these folks have and I know this is an illness, but the extent of the damage to the living, having to deal with this stuff, is so painful. Plus all these precious, priceless things from literally the late 1800s and early 1900s through the 1980s. All this fascinating history just gone. And when I think about that, it makes me want to puke. It's so sad that there's so many interesting things we could have learned about, could have read about, that house was full. The attic was full. And it just sat there and rotted until it was too late and you couldn't do anything. And I know you know what I mean if you have a hoarder family member or if you have had to deal with anything like this. This house sat for 30 years. It's so painful. So one time my dad and I had to run down there to fix a broken window that they got a notice about or something. And I snatched up some stuff, including the stuff that I've been talking about. So I threw it in some containers and never really thought about it because it didn't really matter. It didn't mean much to me at the time. And now I'm like, why? We could have salvaged all that stuff that was important. And there's some beautiful antique furniture done. I mean, it's such a shame. So much was lost. And it feels like a huge loss. 'Cause it is. And even if we had sold everything, at least we would have, done the normal thing, sell it like people do at an estate sale, not just let it sit there and rot and then leave it for your fucking kids to deal with. That's fucking awesome.